The Imperium operates as a network of ancient alliances, held together by tradition and military threat. Right now, those bonds are snapping. On the ocean world of Caladan, Duke Paulus Atreides steps into a packed arena. He's staging a grand public bullfight to honor the exiled children of House Verdius, openly defying the Emperor's recent political purges. The Duke is an expert matador, relying on poison darts to slowly weaken the beast. But someone has secretly pumped this Salusan bull full of a counteragent and a powerful stimulant, bypassing its neuroreceptors. The animal is immune to the poison and unnaturally fast. In a blur of motion, the bull's horns pierce the Duke's shield. He is fatally gored in the dirt in front of his subjects and his 15-year-old son, Leto. The Atreides patriarch is dead, leaving the entire planet leaderless. But this is not an isolated tragedy. Light years away on the remote planet of Bela Tagus, another strike in a galactic purge is unfolding. Lady Shando Vernius, a former imperial concubine and mother to the exiles Duke Paulus had sheltered, has been living under a fake name, working a humble agricultural plot. But the Emperor's Sardaukar death commandos track her down. They ignore her peasant disguise, confirm her identity with a quick blood test, and execute her in the field. Within days, the universe loses two of its most legendary figures. These violent assassinations create a massive power vacuum, leaving rival houses scrambling for survival in the aftermath. Back on Caladan, 15-year-old Leto Atreides is thrust onto a throne feeling too large for him. He has to grieve his father in private while projecting absolute strength to his enemies. Working with his family's mentat, Thufir Hawat, Leto quietly investigates the accident in the arena. Hawat identifies chemical tampering in the bull's bloodstream that no simple accident could explain. A young stable boy named Duncan Idaho was there that morning. He noticed the bulls acting erratic for days and tried to warn the bards, only to be locked in a stall by the stablemaster just as the fight began. The connections center on the stablemaster, brought to Caladan in Lady Helena's retinue from House Rashis. Rashis and their Harkonnen allies bitterly oppose the exiles Duke Paulus protected. Fearing her husband's defiance would destroy their family, Helena authorized the sabotage. Confronted with this reality, Leto silences his mother mid-sentence. He strips her of all authority, places her under armed guard, and banishes her to a remote, silent exile. By removing his mother from the castle, Leto severs his last link to childhood. The boy who watched his father die is gone. Only the Duke remains. While Leto secures his throne, the planet Ix is already lost. Tleilaxu invaders have taken over the underground cities. Hiding in the ventilation shafts is Kater, a noble youth who has abandoned his upbringing to wage a lone guerrilla war. To survive the invaders' technology-detecting sweeps, Ster ambushes a lone Tleilaxu researcher in a deserted corridor, slitting his throat and stealing his handheld scanner. Back in his bunker, Ster cracks open the stolen device. Inside, he finds manufacturing signatures that prove House Rashis secretly supplied the occupation of his home. At that exact moment, on the foggy planet of Wallach Ninth, another secret is taking shape. In a heavily guarded delivery room, a baby girl named Jessica is born. This genetic tree tracks the Bene Gesserit breeding program. For 90 generations, they have crossed bloodlines across the galaxy, aiming to engineer a godlike messiah. The birth of Jessica is the penultimate genetic step in a millennia-spanning plan. She is destined to mother their savior. The Emperor is busy making loud, bloody public examples of his enemies, but the forces that will actually dismantle his empire are gestating quietly in the dark. Out on the desert world of Dune, Imperial planetologist Pardot Kynes is ignoring the assassinations and galactic politics. He is absorbed by the native Fremen culture. Kynes watches as a young Fremen warrior uses a rhythmic thumping device to call a sandworm, a moment of wonder. Shai Hulud bursts from the sand, and the warrior uses specialized hooks to pry open its armored scales, forcing the creature about ground. Driven by a fierce curiosity, Kynes climbs aboard the beast. His Fremen guides steer the worm south, riding for days across the scorching equator into territory forbidden to outsiders. They bring him to a hidden canyon near the southern pole. There, Kynes finds a blooming oasis. The Fremen have used solar amplifiers to thaw permafrost, cultivating wild grass, fresh running water, and actual palm trees in the deep desert. By pushing past the absolute environmental limits of a planet considered a wasteland, the Fremen have built an untouchable sanctuary. This chart shows the official imperial census. The Harkonnens believe there are only a few 100,000 Fremen in small tribes, but a messenger arrives with a secret, planet-wide count. The true number is 10 million desert-hardened warriors, ready to execute Kynes' terraforming master plan. Along with this staggering census, Kynes receives word that his wife has given birth to a son, Liet. The boy acts as a physical bridge between worlds, ensuring this desert alliance will endure for the next generation. The Emperor's public assassinations were meant to paralyze his rivals. Instead, they've left the Imperium blind to 10 million warriors in the desert and a genetic messiah in the cradle.